looking down at the bottom, our church life, looking at our environments. Believe it or not, in fact, I'm thinking, where were we just? Was it where the condo is? The smell when we came in there was so awesome. We're like, I don't know, it just gives this wonderful feeling. There's some kind of something down in the lobby that does kind of spews or something. I think, oh, it smells good. Okay, environments are so huge. Environments for guests. All right, now I think we've got that one. So what we're wanting to do in simple is create so many yes opportunities that they really can't say no. We're going to create so many yes opportunities they can't say no. Everywhere they look, they're going to hear welcome. They're going to feel you're welcome here. They're going to feel you belong here everywhere they look. Now, creating the welcome culture, and we are coming to a halt because I want to go over our covenants, and we will be finished for the day. Okay, creating a welcoming culture. Wait, the sweet words we long to hear is, and we basically said it, I love it here. You've got the answer in the back of your key if you want to read them again. Okay, number one, connect to the creating a welcome culture. How do you do that? Connect to the three most important people in church. You know who the three most important people in church Sunday will be? You know who they're going to be? Three most important people. First-time guests. There is nobody, not a girlfriend, not your buddy old pal, not your moaning, your testings, buddy, if I can just make it to church and talk to Sister so-and-so about my ailments. No, that's not the most important. The first-time guests. Number two is repeat guests. And number three is new believers. The three most important people that will be here this weekend is first-time guests, repeat guests, and new believers. How do we provide a welcoming culture? We create in links. I've just discussed that. I'm not going to go back over that. Number three, how do we create a welcoming culture? We interconnect new believers with as many connect points as possible. Just to review. Number four, create a welcoming culture. How do we do it? Share your life. That is probably the most difficult. Okay, what is the profile of a toxic group? I'll tell you what, let's go look at our answer key because I just want you to read that. I took some time to think about it because we've got some toxic pockets in our church. And I'm thinking, oh God, don't let those new people get over there in that pocket, folks. And I will tell you exactly what the profile of a toxic group is. They're gossipy, critical, suspicious, opinionated. That is, people do not like to be around opinionated people. Harsh. They're driving or demanding instead of leading. Maybe sensual. We've even had that in our church before. We get somebody that looks really good, and the next thing you know, the group that huddles around the new girl that doesn't have a lot of clothes on is the guys who are ministering to her. It's ministry in this direction today. Okay? Seeking to be honored. Very toxic. Demand to be respected. Very toxic. Hypersensitive ego. Very toxic. Disobedient, hypocritical, we say it but we don't do. Correct them. We've got a few in our church that are like that. They have the ministry of correction. Of course, they never bring a soul. Of course not. Who would want to come with them? All right, the ministry of correction. Lose it. Lose that ministry. Contradicting, judgmental, territorial. My son has got a brand new church now. He said, Mom, would you believe we have this new family, and I can tell that they've done some hospitality where they've gone to church before, and I can tell the man and the wife, they'll be great at that. And would you believe already with just a small group of people, the lady that's been doing it came to me and said, well, if these new people are coming, then they're just going to take my job away. He said, Mama, what do you do? The people are people are people. Are people. But that is very toxic, very toxic. You get someone who comes in to do your job, bless them, bring them in. Say, I can find something else to do. Believe me, there is plenty of work to do. Plenty of work to do for everybody. You know what we do well sometimes if they come in and they're pitiful? You know, the pitiful people, we're like, oh, you're beneath me, so I'm going to have mercy on you. But what happens when they come in and they play the keyboard better than me? I'm intimidated. What happens when they come in and they're a better singer than me? Oh, God, can I hear a witness in the house? Then, in all honesty, I feel lesser. So what do I want to do? Criticize, mark my territory, find something wrong with the way they dress, the way they talk, everything that's wrong with them. What if they're a better event coordinator than me? Well, then I find everything wrong with them because I am intimidated. Sister Lacey, can you give me a witness? Oh, God, have mercy. Toxic. Okay, we want to welcome new people. We've got some truth telling today. All right. Super spiritual. Oh, dear Lord, have mercy. I'm thinking of this one particular guy in small group. You know how you've got several visitors there? And I happened to be in this small group. It was at the Mandeville group at the time. I was a guest there. And, where they're talking about fasting and prayer. Talking about fasting. Trying to introduce the concept of fasting. Trying to, talk about fasting where people can understand it. So, we're talking about fasting and prayer. We come around, and lo and behold, we come to this particular couple. Well, how about you? Now, these people have been taught, how you're supposed to be relevant, and you're supposed to be careful to not, be over-spiritual. He couldn't help it. It just come upon him. Well, I'll tell you, fasting's never been a problem for me. It doesn't bother me. I can go on a 3-day fast. I've been thinking about going on a 7-day. Gag the man, bind him. Cast him out. Oh, God, he is killing our group. Don't say that. No, God. Anyway, got to have the best answer. I'll never forget, I was in a particular setting, very close to here, near here. I was in a setting, and we were in a particular, and the person is not here. Okay? Person is not here. But I was in a setting very close to here. And I had Sister Melinda with me, and we were trying to show how simple it was to teach my Bible study. And we were saying, okay, you have to talk in relevant terms. And so we were talking about that. Okay, we're talking about baptism. And so Sister Melinda taught that lesson, and it was on baptism. And so when we we were going to go around the room. Well, we had this one kind of say something, that one kind of say something, and all of a sudden we hit on this lady. It came on her. She couldn't stop it. She went, God is my witness, for 10 minutes on. She went back to the tabernacle plan. She went on this remission. Got to have the shedding of blood. And it's like everything we taught. It's like they just can't help it. Stop it. If that spirit comes on, you recognize that is an arrogant spirit. People, they've got to feel that we're on their level. It's got to make sense to them. We can't be always prophesying and speaking in the spiritual terms. We have got to come. Why did Jesus speak in parables? Don't you think he could have really quoted the law? I mean, it wasn't he at 12 in there debating? Hey, can I get a witness in the house today? Can y'all take what I'm telling you? Say, Donna's teaching. Donna's teaching. She loves you. And you're going to grow. Okay. But Jesus told stories that made sense to where they were right then. And he made them relevant. And he recognized they need to feel that we're on equal ground. If I'm going to lead them, they shouldn't be, I'm dragging them behind me, or I'm saying, now you stay down there because I'm up here. Remember, I'm your spiritual guru here. That's very toxic, very toxic. Wow, there's some heavy stuff. I'm sorry, but I want you to grow. I want you to be twice the size you are. I want you to be 3 times the size you are. Okay? All right, unfaithful, untrustworthy. You say you're going to show up, you don't show up when you say you are. that kind of thing. Rebellious, pouty, sullen, unforgiving, angry, edgy, unkind, unthankful, victim, always need constant pity and attention. I have figured out that Jesus Christ could probably heal everybody in